In this video demo, I'll show you one way to create a dynamic and colorful abstract painting using bold contrast. Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. This quick painting was started from a prompt in the 50 Abstract Warm-Up Painting Prompts download. I'll leave a link for that in the description. The prompt was this. You had a time limit of 15 to 20 minutes to paint. For paint colors, it was artist choice. Choose 3 colors plus black and white. And then the goal was to establish a clear focal point using contrasting colors and shapes, guiding the viewer's attention. So the colors I chose were Winsor Blue, Hansa Yellow, and Magenta, as well as Mars Black and Titanium White for this piece. I chose those colors because they're quite vibrant right out of the tube, and I wanted a drastic contrast with the black paint. And you can do this same exercise by muting bright colors, or choosing more earthy or neutral colors and still have a dynamic painting. I just wanted to go bright and loud, almost neon. So I started this out by spreading kind of rather thinly some of these paints on my sketchbook page with a color shaper, a silicone bowl scraper. I was using, I think, a flat brush there for a minute, and also blending a little bit with a blending brush or a mop brush. And really just kind of playing, this was all really intuitive, just to get some colors down and try and get something down that seemed a little interesting to me. And then I grabbed a couple of Posca markers. I stuck with a color scheme and only used white and black, and just started making some marks just to get a little bit more interest and a little variety in the visual texture there. And you'll see me using a hairdryer a few times in here because I do get a question quite often if I dry between layers, and the answer is yes, but in a lot of videos I just cut that part out. So you're not having to watch me, watch me dry paint, basically. But I went ahead and left those in so you can kind of see in this prompt exercise that I do use that to dry the paint rather often. So at this point, I'm just kind of feeling my way through and starting to make some shapes. And I'm putting a little water down on the larger shape that I just put down to try and get some water droplets. And at the end of the video, I'll show you some close-ups so you can kind of see some of those droplets, but also just some of the texture and some of the pieces where maybe the color doesn't show up quite as well in this video. So. But again, just kind of playing, and I put some color down and I'm starting to make some shapes, and then I scrape a little of that paint away so I have a variety within those shapes and not just a solid block of paint. And start off with that Posca marker to make some lines, and the paint was still wet enough that it wasn't really working on there, so I used some charcoal and then grabbed the fine tip applicator with some black paint, Mars Black paint in it, and started creating some lines. So now I'm bringing in that black paint to start shaping this and creating a little bit more kind of negative space with that black paint around those shapes. And again, just kind of feeling my way through. And you'll see that black paint is kind of thin, and I'm spreading it around. I'm dipping that color shaper in water each time I start moving that around to, I don't want to say blending, but I'm kind of moving that paint so it does somewhat blend with the background colors to give a little bit of variety again. With this piece and the bright colors, and kind of dulling some of those colors underneath, and then taking a peek at it real quick with a mat to kind of see how it's looking, where any direction that I feel like I want to start going, and then again keep making marks here. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, more prompts, tutorials, and demos, feel free to subscribe. And as always, if you have any feedback or questions, I'd love for you to leave me a comment. And I'll leave the tools and paints I was using in the description if you're interested in those. So the great thing about using black paint is, when you're using especially bright colors like this, it really enhances the color vibrancy. When paired with bold, colorful paint, black creates a striking contrast that makes the colors appear even more vivid and alive. And this heightened vibrancy can evoke feelings of excitement and energy and dynamism in the viewer. And I really felt like this painting by the end had quite a bit of energy, and that's really one of the things I was going for in this one. And the contrast creates emotional tension. The sharp juxtaposition of black and vibrant colors generates emotional tension. So that can symbolize conflict or harmony, depending on how they're arranged. This tension keeps viewers engaged as they explore the interplay between light and dark. And the bold contrast draws attention to focal points, and that really was kind of where I was going with this, due to the prompt. So using black to outline or frame colorful areas directs the viewer's eye to key parts of the composition. And this effect creates an emotional focus, which can guide the audience to experience the painting's most impactful elements first. And that dynamic contrast evokes universal themes. The interplay between black and bright colors can represent universal concepts like, hope versus despair, or life versus death, or chaos versus order. And those contrasts tap into those deep emotional responses, which makes abstract art feel universally relatable. So I'm gonna try and bring a little bit more energy to this, and decided to go ahead and add some drips. I'm not sure if I liked it better with or without the drips. Let me know in the comments if you had a personal favorite way of this. I'm not sure I should have added those. It definitely added a lot more energy to the piece, which I liked. But I also did like it before I put the drips down. So still on the fence of that, but I went with the drips, and I liked the end result. But and speaking of black and bright colors, that also triggers visual exploration in the piece, so that the stark contrast creates layers of visual depth, and that encourages viewers to explore the painting more closely. So this dynamic interplay between black and color sparks curiosity and keeps viewers emotionally connected to the artwork. And I think that's something we all want with our art. So I'll show you coming up here the close-ups, so you can see some of the marks and everything, and then I'll show you the final versions in different orientations and a little better lighting. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and keep on painting.